Hi, everybody. Good morning from where in Hertfordshire, where I'm greeting you this morning. And I was asked to do a brief update on what I'm doing and how you can be praying for me and Monica, my wife. So thank you so much, friends at Walton Baptist Church. It's great to be with you. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be with you for the Passover meal. It was one of the first meetings that we had to cancel because of the lockdown. And so I'm praying that maybe next year in Walton Baptist Church, we'll be able to celebrate the Passover meal again. So I'm Richard Harvey, known to many of you. I grew up in Walton-on-Thames, lived in the Chestnuts, just down the Hersham Road. Me and my brother Nick also became disciples of Jesus back in the 1970s. And I'm so grateful to have the connection with Walton and with friends at Walton Baptist over many decades. So for the past 18 months, I was asked to renew my role as the UK Director of Jews for Jesus. And during that time, we've had, despite lockdown and despite the coronavirus, we've had some really interesting developments. We now have 3 Israeli members of staff in London working particularly amongst the 60 or 100,000 Israelis who live in the United Kingdom. So as well as a team of evangelists working amongst Jewish people in London and UK generally, we also have an Israeli speaking YouTube channel. We have an Israeli speaking get together for fitness, for recipes, for socializing. And my young Israeli team members are really having a great time. Now, I've just returned to my role as the senior researcher with Jews for Jesus. So I'm doing more teaching and training and mentoring. And even though my travel plans have been put on hold, in fact, this has expanded my teaching and mentoring ministry. I'm now mentoring 2 young staff members of Jews for Jesus. One is a fitness trainer who makes YouTube videos on how to get not just physically fit, but well nourished, and shares his faith in Yeshua. And he's a dynamic guy. He'll be going back to Israel shortly. He's a fluent Hebrew speaker with his wife, who's Israeli. And I'm helping him to develop his strategy and his outreach amongst Israelis. What I'm also doing, and I'll try and share my screen on this video, is I'm writing and blogging and teaching. So I'm developing a YouTube channel called Jew in the Pew. Sounds catchy, doesn't it? Because, of course, most Jewish people who come to believe in Yeshua are in the pews of our churches, our different Christian traditions. So Jew in the Pew is really to help Jewish believers in Jesus in the churches to express what it means to be fully Jewish and to believe in Jesus. And if I can just share another slide that I've been working on, it's called On This Day in Messianic Jewish History. And some of you will be familiar, for example, with the ministry of David Pawson, who passed away sadly just a few weeks ago. Well, David Pawson was a great influence on me as a young believer. I lived in Walton. I would occasionally go down to Millmead to hear him preach. And also he was a great influence on the young Messianic movement as we were starting it in London. So he was a friend of mine. I actually met him several times over many years. And I just put a blog post about his passing because I was so influenced by him. And I want Jews and Christians today to know of his love for Israel and his legacy. So I'm writing, teaching, and doing it all online. In fact, I was due to be in Vienna, Austria right now, teaching a group of about 20 or so people who wanted to learn about Messianic Jews and Messianic Judaism. Sadly, they had to cancel the event, but then they got back to me and they said, well, we're now teaching this online. We've now got about 200 people who are tuning in online. So for the past couple of days, I've been teaching online to this group in Vienna and all over the world, in Israel, in Brazil, in America, even in England. And I'll be teaching them again tomorrow morning, about 150, 200 people, on the Messianic Jewish movement and what God is doing amongst Jewish believers in Jesus. And then the final thing, just to tell you a little bit about, is one of the things we're doing in Jews for Jesus right now. And it's called live chat. And if I can share the screen finally and then ask for your prayers. Live chat is a way that people come onto our Jews for Jesus website, jewsforjesus.org.uk or jewsforjesus.org, and they start chatting with us. And you can see here, I'm currently not accepting chats, but if I accept a chat, lots of people are just logging onto our website, many more than before the virus actually, and asking us questions. And some of them are Jewish, and we're having a great time just chatting online to people. So thank you so much for watching this short update. And Monica and I send our greetings, as does my brother Nick down in Bristol. He's just had another grandchild born, you'll be pleased to hear. And so thank you so much for your prayers, Walton Baptist. Thank you, Steve, for hosting this. And thank you for, hopefully I'll be with you next Passover next year in Walton-on-Thames. I love coming back to Walton, of course, my family home where I grew up, and so much grateful for your prayers and your support. So God bless you in the name of our Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus of Nazareth, and thank you for watching. Amen.